Everybody, just walking around the backyard, checking out my bird feeders and bird bath and things like that. I just moved these two feeders. I had them on my peach tree. You see the peaches are coming out really good. I think you can see. Yeah, if anybody in, I don't tend to have anybody in here. Oh, I understand. But anyway, here we go. So here's for our finch small birds. And every other bird there is tends to come too. Let me back up a little bit. Go back to here. So I have these two on a shepherd pole. One person, hi, one person. And just got this yesterday. It was a gift to my wife from her coworkers. Hope you can hear me. But I don't think I set them up. The air signal should be probably correct. Couldn't even get into, but plus I have the camera set up on all the bird feeders. I just activated this one when I got this close. So let's get it. This shots here. Most birds tend to like all other birds tend to like clear feed, which is just sugar water and not the nectar. Although that has gone down an inch, we don't have enough to really probably go bad on it. Change that out. There we go. Another finch has a small bird. Think about this. Hook. And we have our small back fly bushes. Very tiny. Very tiny. But they don't come out until in July or August, something like that. So it's not that bad. And it's high tide. Birds are active. It's really bright here. I kind of figured that might happen. Let me see if I can change that. I think the microphone was in my earbuds are in my pocket, so that that could probably make a difference. This should be better. I don't have a lot of luck with Haps broadcasts. Another butterfly bush, but then we get over to the big ones. They're all along the back fence here. And let me know if the audio is any better, if it's totally gone. Much better. There we go. Yeah, I had my earbuds on. Great earbuds, but they were throwing off the audio for sure. So these are ones I didn't trim, and that's about 3 foot tall. Here's one I trimmed down to nothing, about a foot tall. Then we get the ones I didn't trim at all. Uh, there we go. Picking some trash that blew in the yard. This is a good 4 foot high. And it's like walking around. I'm showing a great signal, so who knows. And all these were untrimmed. The biggest of the bunch is coming up. That's this one right here. Uh, I don't know when it'll start to actually flower, but it got a really good start on the other bushes for sure. Real thick, real healthy. Except for trimming all the dead stuff away, I'm probably not going to touch them anymore. I think I keep reading where you cut them down, cut them down, cut them down. Well, I'm not going to do that anymore. Then it's just a line of them along the fence here that are all small too. But they got a lot of time to grow. Whole bunch of time walking back toward the two feeders, my picnic table over there. And my flowers last year are blooming, and that's good because the shortage of seedlings. Wow. Yeah, that is good. The um, I'm not I'm not Mr. Green Thumb, although I do have luck with some stuff. Having luck with the birds. My pole's a little cockeyed, so I just put this in just this morning. What happened was on the peach tree. I had two feeders just hanging from here, and they come down, and of course I was dealing with squirrels, and they were driving me buggy. They were eating a quart of food a day. So I have blink cameras, and I just set off this one. Uh, Blink cameras to record the feeders. I got to actually get a closer view to really recognize the birds. That's kind of a biggie, I guess. But the fountain's really nice. Tomorrow comes your jelly. Yeah, well, they're ornamental peaches. They're not, and there's a cardinal in the peach tree. Can I zoom in on the front of this camera? Can I zoom in anywhere on Haps? I mean, oh my God, he's down on the ground now. I had Cardinal got an app. It's a really good app, and I with hundreds and hundreds of bird calls. He's smack in the middle of the screen. If you can see him, if I get any closer, he's going to take off. He's pretty, really pretty, and there he goes. Uh, so three hummingbird feeders. I don't know if I showed you the little one in back, but they do like this little guy. I'm having a very tough time seeing the screen because it's so bright. Uh, but the ornamental ones, mostly the not gopher, groundhog gets into there and eats just about everything off of that. He'll climb and bend a branch over. Never thought of them as climbers, but I mean, there's a ton of peaches in that tree, ton of little peaches in that tree this year. And even this crazy tree we got in the backyard, and I think I can't really see it. I think it's my screen protector that doesn't allow me because I know the phone has really good high nit numbers on it, but I think the refraction of light through the screen protector is really bad. Here's a little tree I rescued. Let's see, rescued that. It lived in a bucket for about 3 or 4 years. Well established little tree, and I finally gave it a home, and it's grown more than a foot in a year. So I'm happy about that. So just a quick observation. So from that feeder there all the way across, and there are butterfly bushes all the way down this fence. Then it goes to the bird feeder, and just a little bit of a divot there. That was a sewage a cesspool at one time. I'm talking 50 years ago, and the ground is settled. It's extremely firm. I can jump up and down on it with no fears. But I haven't made an attempt to fill it in, and I kind of like it. I don't know why, but I kind of like it. Then we just go back. There's all the ones to the back fence, and back to the hummingbird feeders here. Let's see. I found bird baths buried in ivy and dirt in my backyard, and it's great. Wow, that is cool. I got what do I have there? It's not a nuthatch. I can't see one of the feeders is in front of the other over there, but I like her. I might give this paint. It's all concrete. This thing is heavy, man. It's the just the top, just the bath part itself is about 70, 75 pounds, and another 50 or so for the pedestal. But tomorrow I'm going to it's coming is a it's a fountain, a solar bird fountain, very highly rated, quite inexpensive, and it's just going to sit there. And the idea of the rocks is you really only need three. Three is a stable thing, that kind of the saying is that three legs a chair will never wobble, four legs or more. I don't care how many legs you have, it can wobble. But I'm going to put three of them out there, and in the center is going to be the fountain. It'll shoot up according to how much sun is out, a foot high or so. The idea of the rocks is to keep it in the center so it doesn't go off to one side and shoot all the water out and empty your bird bath here. I probably call it a feeder. I tend to do that. So that's my little yard happening. We got three people that have been in here. Wow. Yeah, my days, guys, are shortly numbered on Haps. Um, I just don't want to do this anymore. I just felt like walking around and capturing something here. My screen's even a little glitchy. I'm not sure why. Uh, yeah, it's not something I want to do anymore. Got a cardinal over on the fence there. I did have a speaker out here. I started to say it's a square speaker, very powerful, Bluetooth speaker, and I've got a great app that has I don't know, over 500 birds, and the 500 birds that are on there, they have up to a dozen or so songs that they sing. And I had cardinals out here yesterday, and no, that was this morning. I had cardinals out here this morning. I was playing different cardinal songs, the mating ritual songs, and the female "Hey, I'm over here, guys" song, and all that kind of stuff. And let me get where I can get all the feeders maybe in one shot. Uh, I don't know. I can't really see the screen. Ugh, drives you nuts. So I have been busy fixing up the house and increasing its value. Very happy. I tell you, every penny you put in, you get a dime back. I mean, or something like that. Yeah, it's well worth it. No matter how much out of the pocket, to raise the value of your house is definitely an important thing. Let me turn the camera around, and there he is. Okay, so I can't. I don't know. I've seen people do it, but I don't know if it's a different device. I'm here with an iPhone. I still can't see the screen, man. But finding a bird bath in your yard, that's really cool. Uh, wow, yeah, this thing it was a gift to my wife from her coworkers. That's really cool. I'm sitting over here by the air conditioner, so it might be a little loud in the background. I don't. Matter of fact, I don't want to sit here by the air conditioner. I'll go back to my little chair in the backyard for a few minutes. So Haps is great. Just Haps isn't for me. I have a lot of connection issues. The other day, it just drove me nuts. Couldn't log on. I couldn't. The screen wouldn't come up. I got to fix the. I got to put a screw back in the chair here. I got the screw. I don't like these particular camping or backyard chairs that have. See, this is my little relax spot. I just moved my chair back and forth. 74, but it's humid today. Here's the the single feeder and a little tree over that way. And yeah, I lost a picket in the fence there. I gotta find one and replace that. Maybe I can find a broken section that. Why does that? You're telling me my screen's gonna flip out when I scroll? That's not cool. Found an old-fashioned handsaw for big trees as well. Cool. I got a tree, and I'd zoom in on it if I could, but I guess I can't. I don't know. I always thought that it was me that was doing something wrong because I see other people zoom. If Snoop Globby Glob can zoom, and I think he was kicked off. It's just too rough, too foul. He lasted a long time, surprisingly. Uh, just I don't know, but he's gone. I signed in an account that I was making for my wife, and I just typed him in to see if he had blocked me because he's done that so many times over the years. And even even with the different information, there was couldn't connect up to him. So I'm assuming he's blocked. He wouldn't leave. He don't leave anywhere. And if he was arrested again, which he tends to be all the time, um, then who knows? His videos would still be here. So if they're not there, he was probably booted. Uh, I don't know. That's a lot of people don't even know who I'm talking about when I say Snoop Globby Glob. Let's see, pro tips. Haps, I don't want your pro tips. So many people. Last night it was Mean Gene, cooking Mean Gene. She was saying, "Do I have to look at this message from Haps every time I turn on the broadcast? Because if nobody comes in, you just see Haps crap telling you how to talk on Haps to advertise Haps." Well, I don't want to do that. If you're here, you know the rules. I hope you know the rules. Uh, I don't foul mouth anybody. I don't get in here. That's not my thing. I don't do that. I'm enjoying retirement. I can tell you that. Here we go. Lumbar. That's outrageous price. What? What am I reading here? I think you say lumber is outrageous prices wise right now. They should be play. If you're talking lumber, yeah. Uh, I know. I follow a couple of YouTubers that are building houses and stuff like that. I like to follow their life and literally building it themselves with the advice of a general contractor, and occasionally bring people in who specialize things, electricity, things like that. But they go and they pick up a small pile of wood and it sets them back $1,000. It's nuts. It's so nuts. We're being raped and pillaged by everybody. Uh, my wife bought a ribeye steak, choice, nothing prime. Not I don't think it was choice. I think it was the one in the middle. It wasn't choice. But the steak was good steak. 15.99 a pound from Shoprite. Shoprite steak, 15.99 a pound. All right, it was Angus, yes, and she bought two, so it's 35, $40 for two steaks. Used to be, of course, not that long ago. You could go out and get a halfway decent steak for that for dinner and right around that $40 mark was what you'd be paying. And it's not that long for you younger people. That's oh, I've never seen that. Well, you're right. You probably never have. Ribeye is on sale $8.98 a pound right now at Smart and Final. Smart and Final. I like that's a cool store. Don't you ever bring anything back here. It's right in our title. Um, but the yeah, just the price of eating at home is crazy. I don't know how a young family with a couple of teenage kids. I mean, they're in the 40s, right? But with a couple of teenage kids who eat you out of the house. I mean, that's just the way it is. I remember my snack in the day. Did they have food back then, old man? Nah, they did. Still got food right here. Um, and my thing was grilled cheeses. I mean, 1 o'clock in the morning. I used to stay up all night. This is after high school, but before I got into the working world, I had a lot of obligations to family that kept me out of the working world for a while, which really put a dent in my now Social Security. Yeah, I'm doing that. Got a pension, got Social Security, and got a really nice 401k. Uh, my wife and I are set just on my income, which is great. The security of being secure is a wonderful thing. And of course, she's going to have a pension if she ever decides to leave work. And she worked a lot more years than I did. So Social Security is going to be very good for her too. So the income is going to be really comfortable for us. We're going to have to find stuff. You talk about house repairs. I need new front steps. I did see an alternative though, Todd, that was kind of nice. It's all concrete steps, poured concrete steps, and someone with the same house style as me in this development, a ways away, they uh, they build a wood deck over top of that, not just stairs, but also a deck area, enough room for two chairs and a little table. You can go in and out the door without anybody having to move. It all makes sense. It's done really well. Comes out quite a bit. And what's nice is it has 6 inch, I think, risers instead of eight or, God forbid, 10-inch risers. So, yeah, you take one more step, but you don't have to climb as much. And it's a bunch easier on my wife right now. But a very clean London broil and made beef jerky, $3.99 a pound, my local store. I don't know if you ever saw my videos back on Periscope, but I did beef jerky a couple of times. And I use top rounds, sometimes cheaper. Bottom rounds fine too. London broil's great. They're kind of all the same meat, really are. as far as jerky goes. And I would take and marinate it, typically overnight, and then I would pull out my oven rack, top oven rack, and I would run an S hook. Okay, so an S hook, and hang each of the beef jerkies onto the S hooks, and hang them onto the racks in the oven. Set it for 170. 4 hours later, incredible beef jerky. Really, really good. I'm hearing a squirrel out there making some racket. So where I'm sitting is where I see all the feeders really good. There's a couple of finches over here on one, and a few starlings on the other. We probably have about 12, maybe 14 different birds, but I don't think I've ever seen any of them all at one time in one day, I should say. And nice, your wife and I are the same age. If you recall, going to be great when she retires. I retired early because of disability. Wow, I wish. Yeah, I've been asking her. I quit asking because I just get frustrated with the answer of when she's going to retire out, and that 4 years difference in our ages. One, she really likes her job. She's one of those. I loved my job. I can't say that, but you consider things like health issues, your your monetary situation, and especially COVID. I mean, half the guys I worked with ended up getting COVID, and the boss was finally able to get everybody. This is early because we worked around the clock, all rotating around the clock, and he was able to get the shots for everybody. But that was after I was gone, and luckily, I mean, not even 2 weeks after I had retired is when COVID swept through the plant, and for lack of masks and things like that, and having to work in too close of a space with too many guys got it, and one fellow's still recovering, and this is 5 months later. I mean, he still gets winded, still gets tired, has sense of smell issues, all that stuff. I mean, and I was not bringing COVID home to my wife. If God forbid she had gotten it, and we're all shotted up now, about a month now we've been all shotted up. But if she had got it at work, as horrible as that would have been because of her health issues, at least on a selfish thing, I didn't give it to her. I didn't go to work, have lack of, you assume or you hope that the people that you work with take connection issues, and I got a great signal. You tell me. And let's see, that's the same. Let's see, that's the same recipe my friend gave me years ago. Okay, he was in Pearl Harbor attack and gave me pennies from the ship. That's neat. It was a newspaper clipping about piggyback pennies. Wow, very cool, very cool. I had a bell that was cast from. Oh my God, what ship was it cast from? Can't remember now, but it was a famous ship for sure, and somebody had they'd gotten metal, of course, and they recast it and they made bells, and I got one of the bells, which was cool. I haven't seen it in 25 years, I'm sure. And let's see, he also included a hook for example. Wow, yeah, that's having a bit of history is neat. Now I've collected World War II weapons and memorabilia, flags from different countries involved in World War II. My fair share of the Axis stuff, flags and pins, some very rare pins. I had I'll use the word Nazi. I had a Nazi youth league, the Jugend League pin. Still have it. It's from the 1936 Olympics, and there was 50,000 of these issued the day to the Yugen League at the Olympics. 50,000. That's all that were made, and I have one of those. It's called a tinny. Tinny is stamped from a thin piece of tin, about the thickness of a metal beer cap, about a beer cap, maybe a little thinner. And that's probably my most treasured of collectibles, is because that's fairly rare. But I've got four Russian rifles, Mosin Nagants, Kalashnikovs. What else do I have? SVT 40. Uh, Check that out. SVT 40. You want to see a gun that looks like a machine gun from back in the day. Actually, it was a full automatic weapon, but it was shooting these big 7.62 by 30 39 R's, rimmed, long cartridge. Um, I don't want to call it a bullet. It's a cartridge. But the thing is rated around 3,000 feet a second. Doesn't get the speed of an AK or anything like that, which is about 4,000. But but you ain't moving out of the way if somebody shoots it at you. That's for sure. I know my gun range. We have a 2,000 yard. No, two. I wish 200-yard target. I couldn't see a 2,000 yard because I don't have no. There's no scopes on any of these weapons from then. Um, there was a scope for the SVT 40. It came off the Mosin Nagant 9130, but I never got the scope. I didn't put that on there. Let's see. He also included hook example. Well, 1936. Yeah, I mean we're talking Jesse Owens. He's out on the field. Hitler's watching the Olympics with a very grim face, and that was. I mean, it's a piece of history, huge piece of history. Uh, just to throw a few more of them out there. I guess why I'm thinking about it. A 4-year tank commander medal, very heavy. Uh, in Russia, this is Russian stuff. This is not German. No, I'm wrong. That's a Nazi thing. I don't want to say Nazi and Germany in the same sentence. It's unfair. The first people that Hitler attacked was the Germans. I mean, he took over that country, and then okay, let's go ahead and we'll spread ourselves out from there. But the German used the eagle just like we do in the U.S. and and it was a lot of years. I mean, the Nazis were around for a long time, and the eagle, if it was, it's standing there, or it's in a flight mode, but its head is either facing east or west. And if it's just sitting there, okay, it's just tall and looking to the east, it has sank its feet in the ground there. It is secure. No one's no one's taken that particular German stronghold as it's moving east toward Russia, or looking to the west, of course, toward Europe. If the wings are spread, but it's not lift off, then that was issued during a time of a major battle about to happen. If it's literally in flight and facing east or west, then you know that it was in an attack mode. And they loved making medals. Oh my God, they love making medals. So, but I don't have any Russian, any German, I'll say it again, Nazi weapons. It's one of those things that's borderline in New Jersey that you can have. It's just getting tougher and tougher. New Jersey, New York, California. They're even collectibles. Most states you have curios and collectibles and things like that. Not here. You don't have that option. There's a point system to things like bayonet lugs and other things on the gun that if they count all these points, and if it exceeds a certain number, then you can't have it. And the one that gets me is the Garand, the M1 Garand. I mean, it's our rifle that fought in a lot of wars. It's got that little iron hole peep sight, which is is very cool. And it works like a champ. I've fired it before. Matter of fact, I have a what is it? A British rifle. Slipping my mind here, but that's got the same kind of a peep sight on it, and it's very very accurate. There's no sights on any of these things. So, hello from Scotland. Melanie Fay. Hi, Melanie. Sorry for taking so long. I'm sitting in. I'm blind here. Um, I believe it's a screen protector. I want to peel it off. It's got a lifetime guarantee to protect my phone screen. One of those rip-off things they sell you when you buy a new phone. This is 3 years old or so now, and it would be nice. By the way, 13 of you have been in here. Thank you all for stopping by. I'm not setting records. That's not what I do. People like when I cook. I cooked on Periscope for years and years. I don't. I don't dig cooking here. You can't zoom. I like to use the front camera, put it up on a mount that goes on my wall up above me. You can, if you haven't seen my cook shows, there's about 10 of them here, maybe a few of me sitting out in the yard and just BSing with everybody. But the cook thing, I explained this to Pablo, and he says, "Why on earth do you need a zoom mode for a front screen?" And I said, "Well, I do cook shows, and I don't want to have to keep on taking my phone out of the mount that's on the wall and bringing it down to show people what the dish looks like up close, switching from a wall mount to a tripod mount." And he said, "Oh, I totally get that." Well, that was the last I heard about that. I wrote him about an issue. Wrote not him, maybe it was him, but I wrote them about an issue. Never got a reply. Uh, they definitely cater to the more uh, popular. Is that the word? There's a lot of popular people out there on Haps, and none better than the Living Truman Show himself, Randy Horton, a fantastic broadcaster, and I guess if not a partner now, I guess that's what he's aiming for. If not yet, then soon. And I wish him all the best. He's a very good broadcaster. And there's a few cooks that we all know of that are on here. I'm just not one of them. I just don't dig Haps in general. This was almost a goodbye message, but I've got about $10 and change here. I plan to give away to someone, but I just never catch that person when they're live, and I don't want to give it to them when they're not live. That's no fun. So I'm not gonna, if and when I do, then I'll let's see, then I'll pass it on. And yeah, about bullets being on high demand, I just I had I got a fair share amount of 9 millimeter, and I just passed on some to a new gun owner who can't get ammo. He'd like to go, and it's range ammo. It's not anything we can't use what the courts call a hollow. They don't call them hollow point; they call them hollow nose. But we all call them hollow point. I don't have any of that. But you can shoot that at the range. Can't shoot anybody with it. Somebody breaks in your house, they're coming at you with a knife. You're 15 foot away, and you shoot them with with a hollow point. You go to jail, and they die. It's not a self defense thing anymore. They assume that you had that in there to kill somebody. Fragmentable bullet. Um, just I got to switch arms. I got a bum right arm here. Randy's one of two people I watch on Periscope. Yeah, and that's it. I can't really remember watching a whole lot of Randy on Periscope. And do I miss Periscope? Yeah, I think a lot of people do. You know, Haps is a surefire winner. They have, I guess, a little gnats flying around me here. Surefire winner in the big scheme of things here. I think they're going to do absolutely great. We keep on hearing things, green screen options and stuff like that. Virtual green screen, like Zoom has. Green. You just, as long as you have a dark enough background, Zoom doesn't do well with the virtual green screen. on uh, virtual green screen on with a bright background. So pick a dark background, go on there, and you can put anything behind you, and it looks really good to the most part. You have to have a lot of light on you. That's really the trick with any green screen. And if it's a real green screen, you have to have light on the green screen. You don't want to be casting shadows and throw the image totally away. I think one of the most people I'm just thinking about uh, talented people that always got a bum rap on Periscope, and I don't believe he's here on Haps. And that's Danny Galley, guitar player, drum player, keyboard player, singer. I think and I know Danny wouldn't be watching this, but and I even wrote him one time. He used to have this laugh track that anytime he said anything that he thought was funny, he'd push the laugh track thing on the like a Johnny Carson show kind of a thing with if it didn't have a real audience. I would say like Jimmy Fallon now in the days of COVID, or at least as long as that was a more important issue now that most people are vaccinated. Maybe it's gone back to somewhat normal, but even if it didn't, um, the laugh track thing just doesn't work, and I think he really shot himself in the foot. Danny did. Hi, Linda. Good to see you. Thank you for coming in, and thank you for mentioning that John Cooks is here. That's nice of you. Hope you're well. I was saying earlier, and I'll just briefly recap. I'm pretty sure my days on Haps are limited. I'm just not digging it. Come out here, just showed off my few bird feeders I have in the yard. A new bird bath that we had that Tracy's coworkers got her for her birthday, which was really cool. I did the stress test, John, and hated it. It's not a fun thing. You handled the nauseous part of it. That's the hardest part. That was the hardest part to me. I don't think you did. There's no way you did the physical test. I don't believe. So you did the nuclear one, and that's tough. It's a little rough on the body, and according to how well you handle that stuff, I didn't handle it well. Like I say, throw up on them, Linda. Um, don't know if you did, but I sure came close. I can absolutely say that part. I got really, really, really close. Um, but yeah, Haps, it's not doing it for me. Come on here, kind of to say goodbye to people, but it's I'm not ready to do that yet. Um, soon, soon. Then then I think my social media days are over. Period. I'm getting off of Facebook. Say you delete your account. Yeah, good luck with deleting your account. Uh, you know, it's a lot of stuff I got on there. I mean, I just want to get off of it. I don't. There's hundreds of videos, stuff that was on Periscope, and of course you can through a computer you can still get into Periscope's collection of all your videos, and I got them all there. What I should do, I guess, is probably, and I got a bunch on Facebook too that I keep private. No, on YouTube that I keep private, and a boatload that are on Facebook. So I want to keep Facebook. I don't want to delete it. Delete it. That makes sense. But I do. I do want to get out of social media. It's bugging me. It's bugging me to be a part of it anymore. I don't have a lot of comment in with the people that somehow are my friends. I think I just went in there at one time or another, and I'm sure I did. Well, maybe I'll get a ton of people here. Kagleek blah 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 might be your friend. Well, no, no, but guess who clicked on Bagleep? Making up names here. Sorry, Bagleeps out there. I don't want to offend you, but I just got a whole boatload of people that I got no interest into to that. And no, I'm not going to go anywhere else. Um, I think right now, I mean, I posted a picture of the bird bath that Tracy got. And I got a, I actually had a mourning dove sitting up on top of one of the bird feeders, not on top, at the feeder level of one of the bird feeders today. A really good picture. I'm going to put that up on Facebook, but slowly for surely, I wasn't on Facebook for over a year, and I came back one day and I said, haven't been here in over a year. Any of you missed me? And I had about 20 people. Sure, good to see you again, John. And I'm like, probably not. Yeah. I never got a, hey, are you okay? I haven't seen you in 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 months from anybody. So, I mean, it was, uh, unless they were doing that on Messenger. I hate Messenger. It's gross to me. I don't want anybody to know when I'm on, when I'm not on, any of that. It's bull. It's, you know, and Amazon. Take a look at this. This one gets me now. Amazon now advertises we have over 60,000 pharmacies that you can get your medication and save money with Amazon. Thank you, Linda. Thank you so much. No harm in doing cooking happens in the future. I know that. Oh, hi, go. I get that, and yeah, Todd, time consuming is for sure it. I never was good at short shows. You know that. I go out there for 3 hours and do all the prep. And I mean, if you want to keep a show under an hour, and I've kept a lot of shows under a half hour just by doing 2 hours worth of prep, there's no difference. It's still consuming all that time. So whether you're just being videoed or not, um, but I don't want to do that again. I really thought when I retired out that it was going to be uh, you know let's get out there and cook every other day kind of a thing for me, and it didn't go that way. And as nothing to do with HAPS minus the zooming issue, which was never addressed, the front camera zoom. Again, I've seen people use a back camera zoom, but they were Android phones. I don't know if that's somehow something you can do with Android you can't do with iOS. I can't imagine. But what do I know? I'm not a programmer, and those guys aren't either. I mean, as far as I understand, they have they're the face of HAPS. They're the nice guys, and they are nice guys that come out here and talk with you and have lots of videos, sometimes interactive videos, best show of the week videos, all that kind of stuff. Um, to keep people interested and show that and which is a million times more than Periscope ever did. Periscope didn't do squat. They did nothing for you. You couldn't. They wouldn't answer your stuff if you didn't have a 500,000 followers. They didn't give a crap, and that's just not something that I liked about Periscope. Uh, Probably I liked. I mean, I know I liked that I had 4,000 plus followers. That's pretty cool. Not that hard to get if you go out there enough times. Somebody follows you, never comes back and sees you again. They come in there, they follow you, maybe they watch 5 minutes of you, and then they go away. I'll check them out later, and they never do. That's sort of the game, I guess. That's the game. And Haps, and again, Haps is the future. I believe that. I've been looking for a cooking broadcast for your cooking broadcast for months. Yeah, it's been 2 months again or more since I did a cooking show here. I had to try to get my arms comfortable. I Since you guys saw me, I tore my right shoulder cuff over here to match my left one. Although my left one's been long enough, I never had it operated on. Where rarely hurts, and I got pretty good function. But I'm in misery with the right one much of the time. So made an appointment close to a month ago and it's for June 11th to uh, to go to see my orthopedist. The guy did my knees and just see where I stand, see which muscle went, see what he plans. If this thing is going to hurt for the rest of my damn life, or I got to go through hell for 3 or 4 weeks of initial pain, say 2 to 3 weeks of really bad pain, and then go through 3 months of therapy, and then the rest of my life it's pretty comfortable. Although the doctor said with the left arm that I'll have limitations on doing this and doing that. My shoulder's always been really creaky. The orthopedist before that on the left shoulder, which he went to Vermont and he couldn't do surgery on me. He said one thing to me that really triggered me. He said, "Oh, in 40/70, you fine folks." Thank you. He said, "I'd love to sculpt that shoulder of yours." I didn't realize it was that messed up. Skeletally wise, it was that messed up. But feeling him and comparing the two, I see what he absolutely meant. Now, the guy I'm with now, sports surgeon. So I mean, he deals with lots of different tears and injuries and stuff like that. He's a good doctor. He did great work on my knees and stuff. But it gets down to if I wait long enough, will it not hurt? Kind of like my left arm doesn't hurt all that much. Um, I don't know. Am I going to sit there and have ice packs and heating pads on me practically every night of the week? I don't want to do that either. So, you know, three months of terribleness compared to God blesses me another 10 to 15 years. Be nice. It'd be wonderful. Actually, it'd be beautiful. And to have most of those times relatively pain free. Heels. I'm watching all the birds flying around me. I hear backyard's looking kind of fine. Let me switch the camera for a second while I talk. It's probably going to be small because you can't zoom in. Haps. Okay. All my butterfly bushes are really looking good there, Linda. Let's see. Did you ever have carpal tunnel from cooking? No. I've been. It's probably the only thing I didn't I didn't hurt, Todd. Oh God, don't make me laugh. It's not a funny thing. I know. There's the bird feeder that Tracy got for her birthday from her coworkers, way in the center upper part, I guess. And I got cameras all over here just to watch the birds. There's three hummingbird feeders and a blink camera right there. By the way, I do like the blink cameras for a few reasons. It's got downfalls. If anybody's interested in somewhat affordable, especially if you catch them on sale, uh, cameras, then Amazon's Blink are pretty decent. They do have some downfalls. Then over here, there's a starling on that one right there, if you can see it. There's my little tree growing up. As I say, it's about a foot taller from when I actually planted it last year, but it's about 5, maybe 6 years old. It grew up and was never even watered one time in a bucket, 5 gallon bucket, literally, and sat right next to my tool shed. And I finally said, "Well, I'm either going to kill the poor thing and put it out of its misery, or I'm going to find a place to put it." And there's a little divot in the ground there from where cesspool was dug up 50 some years ago, I guess. Um, let's see, left is good. Yes, my carpal tunnel hurts. Um, I always wondered that, you know, for 12 years now, uh, maybe going on 13, we've lived here, and I'm still in the same chair location, and my left arm is still mousing everything while resting on the chair arm most of the time. Um, I always wondered about just repetitive movement like that because I never did the truck driver thing. Always a boiler man, so I mean, I'm always turning knobs, sometimes big valves and wheels and stuff like that, but nothing super repetitive in that. So I think if I was going to cause any repetitive injury, it would be at home more so than it would have worked all those years. So um, I got lucky. Didn't I? Don't have that. I got enough. That's enough for anybody. But the yeah, the whole shoulder thing. I mean, I literally hurt my left arm turning over in my sleep. That's how unlimber I am. It's your fault if you don't stay limber, if you don't stretch. even if you can't exercise, even if you're extremely limited on exercise, and I think this is kind of to Linda because she has definitely disabilities to keep her less mobile than I know she would like to. But stretch your arms and stretch other things, whatever you can stretch, and at least keep limber because literally I got tangled up in the blankets and I turned toward my right side and I felt this burn in my shoulder blade about 5 inches round for about 10 minutes. And I never thought about it tearing anything. I thought I might have pulled something. But my shoulder, that shoulder blade muscle is right here now, right where the deltoid should be. So it came off my shoulder blade and it settled here and pretty much atrophied right here up by the deltoid. It's the supraspinatus muscle. Oh, and then years later, I reached my right arm here, and this is about 6 months ago now. Reached my right arm behind my back, foolishly tried to scratch the same shoulder blade, and it didn't hurt. It didn't hurt when I did it, but the next day or a couple days later, and this is usually how people find out if they've got a rotator injury, and that is that they can't sleep on their arms. They wake up and they're in terrible pain in the morning because they did, and they're like, "Oh man, this has got to go away." Now I'm sleeping flat on my back to the most part, or can lean on the left arm pretty good. I'll add that to it, but the right side I can't lay on that. So you know, so the whole thing. So I'm running in my head here. What should I do? Um, Definitely get to the orthopedist on the 11th and take it from there. Uh, it's just frustrating. It really is. This is the time of the life where retired finally, and I got out at 62. I mean, I wasn't about to be one of those people that, oh, I'm going to work till I die. Well, you're an idiot. I mean, okay, if you are in a situation where you have to work till you die to feed your family, to pay for your house and whatever else, and I'm not talking about somebody who spent every penny that they have on Amazon and new cars every other year and all this stuff. They without having any savings. One of these people that typically have no more than $500 in the bank ever. No 401k plans, no foreseeable income to speak of, and they can't retire. So many times I've seen women, in particular, who are working at supermarkets and pharmacies and places like that are up in their 70s. Now I'm 62, just to clarify, so they're older cougars, and they're working because their husband died and they didn't have anything. So she's got to go out just to make bills, just to pay for meds and stuff like that. She's, they have to go out and work. What a shame to not plan. You've got all those years, probably married 45 years, and never made the attempt to say, okay, we're going to get old and want to retire someday, or we're just never in that situation. And I know that you go from one part of the country to the other, things are so different. They can be different from one county to another. Uh, but I was employed most of my life, 32 years with the Navy and the Air Force, um, 10 years, almost 10 years more as a boiler operator. So I mean, I've been 40 plus years as a boiler man, and that was long enough. I got to the point where I'm not going to get any more people to. Uh, I'm saying that wrong. I'm not going to get any further up the chain. I didn't definitely am not boss material. Very tough in that field. Working with the military, you got to bend over backward and kiss something in order to get what you want with the military. Typically, uh, you know, you got to literally be failing your mission before they start pouring out money. And typically at that point, it's a bit too late. Well, where I worked, we had our main boiler, and I told you I used to be part of a team that launched jets at a land-based aircraft carrier platform. I made the steam. I'm the steam guy. Steam was used. Watch Top Gun. You'll see the jets being launched. You'll see steam come out the deck. That steam is the stuff that I make at a land-based facility that repairs all these launch valves that shoot these jets off the deck. And did that for 3 decades. That and worked also on the same base as a central steam heat facility that heated most of the base, which was that was a that was a very tough place to work. It's 4 boilers as big as a house, all extremely vertical, lots of climbing. The boilers would drop out and cascade. One would go, and then the others would go just as quick. And next thing you know, we were using heavy 6 oils. It's just above crude oil, about this much. And you got to heat that stuff up very hot to burn it. You got to just to move it. You got to get to 140 degrees at room temperature. If you had a cup full of this oil, turned it upside down, it would never fall out. It's thicker than Vaseline. So you heat it, make it flow from the tanks to the building, then heat it up to 190 degrees, and then that would take and it'd be to the point where you could add steam to it and atomize that. See, here we go. My dad is 80 with a younger wife. Good for him. I guess. But he is still working as medical salesman that he has done his whole life. He loves it and lives very comfortable. See, that's the perfect combination. Uh, if you love your job and you're comfortable, but there's and that's a different thing than to have to work because you have to work. He has to work. He works because he wants to work, and that's an incredibly different thing. That's definitely not what I was talking about. It's those who don't prepare. I'm getting a lot of sun in my eyeballs right now. I gotta move. Maybe I'll walk around a little bit or drag my chair. I got my little comfy camping chair here. Just uh, see, I started moving when the sun went behind the cloud, and I don't know where it's shady and where it's not now. It's always shady back here, but I just didn't have a super shady spot. Let me try that. Um, I got to fix this chair leg. Excuse me, just 1 second. I got a bolt to repair this. It has 2 bolts for each leg, and one of the bolts came out. But as long as I push it back in place, this little round holder at the bottom. As long as the leg fits into there, it's stable as could be. But that's a much different story. My wife has a fellow that works with her. He was the mail guy for years. His wife died 40 plus years ago, and he lives to work. He goes building to building. He doesn't do it now. He does something else. But he would go from building to building in all the county parks departments, and there's a lot of them, deliver the mail and BS with the people in the offices. And that was his life. He loved that. And I get that. I totally get that. Imagine, you pension out at some point, is some maximum number. At My wife is I think she's been there. She's not going to get any more for working except for being paid. Now, matter of fact, I just got a note saying detection at the Hummingbird feeder. That was me. And I'm about 30 feet away. But I started that, but I'll say that, and I want to get to the blink camera thing in case anybody's interested in affordable, I mean affordable security systems, because I have 6 cams total, and I use 3 of them for birds. It seems crazy, but I do. I got the Hummingbird feeder cam. I got the one that's on just 2 other feeders. I'm doing this like you can see it over here. And I got a little battery warning, so I know this is going to end soon. But yeah, the idea of working because you want to work, not because you have to work. If that's your thing, then that's cool. That's very cool. Uh, on the contrary, My wife goes to work because she likes to work, and she's young. She's 58, 59 in a couple of days, by the way. Very, very few days. That's why she got a bird bath for her birthday from the coworkers. Really nice gift. About 120 pounds worth of concrete bird bath, but it's nice. I like it. I would like to paint it. She don't want to paint it. She wants to keep it the raw concrete look, and I'm getting that. I would like a camera for bears and deer visitors. See, that's the kind of thing where Blink is extremely good. Now, I'll get to that. So I got three cameras on birds. Well, there's a backyard cam that catches like all of them. Then the one on two seed feeders, and then one of them on the hummingbird feeders. And I've seen three or four hummingbirds flying by since I've been on here. Um, but I catch them on sale. I got them for $59 a piece, roughly. I bought a box of three, then I bought a box of three again because I want to see first if I liked them. They operate with two AA batteries, maybe three. I think two. Haven't had one apart in a while. But they say the last two years. Well, not as often as I have them come on and off, but I don't mind, and they have to be lithium. You can't use rechargeables. Like I got a downy woodpecker at the one feeder right now. By the time I turn this around, he's too small. You wouldn't see him anyway. But I have one mounted on a tree, looking at the front of my house. One looking straight down the driveway, and then I have one on the left side of the house. I don't have one on the right side because the driveway cam catches the whole right side of the property really well. And they even have the software's quite nice, although I can see a lot of improvements. Um, and I think uh, the stuff that they had there is cool. They allow you to blank off a bunch of areas, so things like moving trees or cars that may trip it, you can literally turn the camera off in those few zones. You can even zoom in further, so it's a grid, and you hit different blocks that you don't want the camera to trigger to, and then you can hit a close up version, which blows up an entire box, and then you have mini boxes inside of there, so you can really tweak it to how you want the camera to react, tweak the sensitivity, uh, and see the battery life. I've had them for 5 or 6 months. Never replaced the battery. You turn them on at any time, check them from anywhere. They have a range limit. They work off of Wi-Fi. So my Wi-Fi is in my kitchen window facing the backyard. So that makes it a little bit easier, as far as getting a signal back here goes, and it handles everything back here really well. Uh, Downfall, it's got a 90 degree, so that's like it's an L, a 90 degree spread. Uh, I wish there was some, even if it was digital zoom, some zooming feature. Doesn't have that. Could be the live shot, yes. The shot that and there's another downy woodpecker. Um, uh, but it's a 1080p, so they call it high def image. Not when you zoom in, it's not. It loses. It pixelates quite well as you zoom in. But the infrared works decent. It doesn't shoot everything. You don't see a miles worth of stuff on the infrared, but it's decent. It would be perfect for deer and bear and stuff like that. Okay, there we go. Got a notice up there about the DOJ and something or other. I do wear contacts these days, everything around the whole yard and even relatively close. I mean, I'm looking at my boots and stuff like that, and everything is rock solid clear. Except for reading is a little bit tough, so I got these cheaters on. Um, but what else would I change about the maybe a little bit stronger bracket. They have a little hole in the back of the blink cameras, which are totally waterproof, very good waterproof. So you put your cameras in, screw it to a tree, whatever you're going to do it. They hide very well. They do have a red and a blue light that come on when the trigger's been tripped. If somebody walks in the yard, and it makes a physical click noise that can be heard if they're listening for it. You hear the click and you look, you're going to see the red and blue camera or light, small light on the camera. Don't really think that's really necessary. Wi-Fi extenders. Yeah, that's what I'm using now. I don't know how the picture is. It says great, but I've learned not to trust that. Even the Haps guys tell you don't trust that. Great, poor, okay. Signal strength thing. It's not right. So they say don't go by that. Well, take it away and get rid of it. You know, this is kind of to tell you that you you might be clear. No, I don't need it. Um, So it's a shame. I know my days are numbered on Habs. I'll come in here and do this once in a while. I'm not going to delete Habs. I don't want to do that. Habs is a good service. It's not what I want to do anymore. So, and I sort of felt that way with work toward the end. Yeah, I love my job, but I've done it a long time. I trained 6 new guys over the last year and a half or so. Put a lot of effort because these are the ones replacing me with all those years of experience. So I want them to be ready because I like my boss. I like my boss. We're going out to lunch later this week, matter of fact. It'd be my first time to eat out anywhere. Uh, Say we've had our shots for a month now. God knows what they implanted in all of us, right? Oh, that's another topic for somebody who's into the paranoid part of immunizations. But I'm going to hang in here till my phone just about dies. So it's getting really, really close. I'm ready for that second warning to come up now. But I mean, I've gotten 6 months or so, whatever it is now, out of the cameras, and I sent 6 cameras around my property. And, if you somehow get to my backyard, there's a camera looking right at you when you get around the corner, anywhere near toward the back door. So the house is protected. Not that I think we need it any more than anybody would want it anywhere. Uh, it's just one of those things. At $59 a piece, well worth it. At I think it's $89, maybe 79, but $89 a piece, divided up into a set of three. That's getting expensive. At that point, you might want to think of something that has a greater range. But now you're talking wired. I don't want wires all over the place. I want to be able to pull this camera off of this tree and move it over and stick it on that one, or just for some reason aim it toward the barbecue or whatever I want to do. I want to be able to do that with at least one of all these cameras, and a few of them are too high. Put them up so nobody can steal them. Uh, but the nighttime vision is okay. I think I would recognize. Yeah, yeah, perhaps my end broadcast days are getting mighty close. But let's see, as I use 1,000 feet from the base, man, that's a good Wi-Fi extender. I just keep reading that, and I'm saying to myself, "Wow, that's nice. That's a good deal." I'm just gonna shoot another shot at the bird feeder. Just through it. I don't think I've seen a bird in here yet. But tomorrow, I might come back on tomorrow and show you how the fountain works. It's gonna be sitting right in the center there, so it can't bounce all over the place. Actually, been putting off going out of town. Need to pick up prescriptions and lumber for my new deck. Take care. It was nice chatting, Todd. Thank you. Same with you. Believe me, it's good to be with some familiar people. And I'm always curious at that number. I see 58, and later I'll look and see how many people tuned in on Facebook. I get a lot of people that they say something on the order of They give me a thumbs up. They didn't watch the they didn't watch the broadcast. They say, "Oh, there's John broadcasting again." This is on Facebook, mind you. So let me give him a face up. So just for anybody who missed it earlier, might be in there. Just two of my hummingbird feeders right there, and there's the third. This is probably the most popular one. It's not colored or anything. Man, the brightness out here. It's overcast and I still can't see. It's definitely this screen protector, and that's the second. The one with the nectar in it, I'm going to dump the nectar and just start with the sugar water. At work, we had hundreds. Some years we had hundreds of hummingbirds. I've got videos out there on my YouTube channel where it's just unbelievable. It's like something you tend to see on TikTok or something. There was just so many. I just activated that feeder. Here's one of the here's one of the cameras now. This is the one that's looking at my. And if I get close, maybe you can see and see everything's black. Why's everything got to be black? Make some white plastic stuff, people. Some of us would like to be able to find a cable or anything, and everything is the black color. I can't see black in the without getting out a flashlight. It's just terrible. It'd be right in front of me. I couldn't see it. And then where is it? Okay, and there's one hanging up on the house. That's the one that overlooks the back door. I am getting into forgive the mess, but I'm getting into doing bonsai trees. Always known it as bonsai. Now I got a guy who's been doing it for 50 years. And he's calling it bonsai, as I always heard but never called it. But I got a few trees that I'm going to be wiring up and doing stuff with. Here's two in a bucket. I'm just watering the roots right now. And this, I'll just show one more thing, and then I'm going to get out of here, guys. Yeah, I've tripped three birds, three cameras here. This little tree up against the house, which I don't want it against the house anymore. Starting to cover up the meter and stuff. Was going to transplant this to work and sort of be a boiler operator at that particular power plant memorial tree, which I think would be kind of cool because these things, this tree is that one out there, and I can't see it. Dang thing, but that's that same tree right there, and it's not done growing. It's at probably the 40-foot mark now. Not sure how old it is. Don't matter. But that's what I gotta get out of the sun. That's kind of what I'm dealing with now. So let me just stand where I can actually see the screen for a minute. Wow, what a difference! I got to stand in the doorway from now on. Peace, guys. My battery's got about 8%, something like that left. Not even going to look. Uh, Good talking to those of you who came in. Thank you. I do have some cook shows here if you want to see those. If you can go to Periscope TV, they still have all the shows there. And I've got 300 of them or so. Some really decent cook shows. Check that out. Yes, Periscope still exists out there in one form or another. You can't broadcast new stuff to it unless you rebroadcast it through Haps. At least that's good, Haps. You did that right. I'm not trashing you. You just, you, you, I just don't see my future in Haps. I really don't, and that's pretty much why I say I'm going to broadcast once in a while. I'm not going to definitely delete it because it's a great app. It's just not for me. Peace. God bless everybody, and take care. Todd with a smiley face. Got a point. I haven't pointed in a long time, Todd. You take care now, okay?